Imagine a sales process where the leads come to you, sales are made while you're sleeping, and your business keeps running even when you're not on the clock. If that sounds like a dream, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll share how you can build a sales strategy that doesn't rely on sales calls so you can scale your business without filling your calendar with even more meetings. Meaning your business can make sales any time of the day or night, even when you're not working. I'm going to dive into the main benefits of selling without sales calls, what you need in place to make it work, and if you watch right to the end, I'm going to share my 4 favorite strategies for making sales without sales calls. Now, if you're watching this and wondering why on earth should I stop doing sales calls? I get it. After all, they've worked for you up until now. And why change something that isn't broken? Using sales calls and discovery calls as part of a sales process is what we're taught when we first get into business. But I've got 2 reasons why you should ditch them and find a better way to sell. The first reason is to make more sales in less time. When you're a business owner who wants to grow, you're going to need to make more sales. We know that. And if sales calls are how you sell, that just means that in order to grow, you have to spend more time on calls, which means less time actually working and even less time living your life and enjoying what you love to do. And the thing is, whilst you're on those calls, you can't sell to anyone else. Even if you fill your calendar with calls and you close every single lead into a client, you can still only make 1 sale per every 60 to 90 minutes. Whereas when you use a no-call strategy, the number of sales that you can make a day is almost unlimited. Now, I know unlimited sales isn't the goal for everyone, but it's more about the principle than actually making unlimited sales. Learning to sell without sales calls means you can actually make more sales in less time, so you have more time to do other things in the business. The second reason is more consistent revenue. To build a sustainable business that has regular revenue coming in every month, you'll need to be consistent with making new sales. And the bigger you want to grow, the more consistently you'll need to make sales into the business. And when it comes to consistency, sales calls become a huge stumbling block. You're the one that has to show up on calls, talk to the prospect, make the offer, but what happens when you're not available? Or maybe you want a couple of days off or to book a holiday. If you're the only source of sales because you use sales calls, the chances are you're going to have to make a decision. Do I take this time off and close my calendar, or do I take calls on my holiday? Because the reality is, if your calls are the only way you sell and you decide to close your calendar, how does your business continue to make money whilst you aren't working? The answer is, it doesn't. And I've been in this exact same situation. I used to go on holiday with my family and sneak off to take calls because I knew if I didn't, my business wouldn't make money that week. But I want to be super clear, there's nothing wrong with sales calls. However, if you want to make more sales without it taking up your time, and you want to have a healthy number of sales coming in every single month, even when you're not physically there, you have 2 options. Either you hire someone to take those calls, which to be honest is an absolute ball ache, or you create a strategy that allows you to sell without sales calls at all. And is the second one I'm going to help you with in this video. So, what do you need to make this work? First things first, you have to know what your sales process is. Creating a no-call sales process is relatively simple because you take what works and you replace the call with different strategies. And remember, if you watch right at the end, I'm going to share my 4 strategies that we use instead of calls. But if you don't yet have a sales process that works, or at least know how to sell your service, it's going to be hard to rock up and build a no-call sales process right off the bat. A strong sales process will have 4 things. First, you'll want a way to get your business in front of your ideal clients. In the online business space, it might be your content that gets you in front of the right people. Then, a way to get your ideal clients to raise their hand and express interest in the topic that you talk about. This is usually in a form of a lead magnet or a freebie. Then you're going to want a way to turn those raised hands into prospects who are actually interested in your offer. And then from there, a way to turn those prospects into paying clients. And this is the part where most people use sales calls to close the deal. The only thing that changes with a no-call sales process is part 4. That's how you sell. Instead of using the sales call as your conversion tool, you can use one of the 4 strategies that I'll share right at the end. The second part to making this work is understanding your buyer's journey and the dynamics of the marketplace. Research shows that only around 5% of your marketplace are thinking about solutions for the problems that they have. But then that doesn't mean that they want to buy or are thinking about buying from you. So when you break it down, it only leaves a really small percentage of people who are potentially thinking about investing with you. So there's no wonder why so many business owners struggle to make sales when the majority of the market is not ready to spend their money. So what about the 95%? Well, this is where understanding the dynamics of your marketplace is important so you can create a sales process that actually converts. Here's what I mean. Assuming that you've nailed your target market research, 100% of your ideal clients should be struggling with the pains and problems that you are helping them to solve. But the reality is around 70% of those people know that they have a problem, but they don't yet know why they have that problem. For example, have you ever had a pain in your body? Maybe your back or your neck. We all have that, right? But do you actually know the specific reason why that pain is there? We might think that we've slept awkwardly or we've overdone it that week in the gym. But do you really know why it's hurting? The chances are most of us have absolutely no idea why that pain is in the back of our neck. We don't know how the muscles and all the bones work. We just know that the pain is there because we can feel it. And the same goes for your marketplace. They can feel the pain, but they don't actually know why it's happening. And then from there, you have around 25% of your marketplace that know why they're in pain, but then they don't know what they need to do to fix it. It's like having that neck pain, but then you don't really know how to make it better. Around 4% of your marketplace know what they should do, but they don't actually have a good solution to fix it. It's like thinking, hey, I know I've got this pain in my neck, I should really go and get this looked at, but I don't really know where to go or who to see to get that advice and support. And then it's only the final 1% of your marketplace who have actually found a solution and are in a position to move forward. So to translate that, 70% need to be shown why they're hurting, 25% need to be shown what to do, 4% need to be shown how to do it, and 1% need to be given an offer to take action. And if I'm honest, it's for that reason that sales calls are an effective sales solution. Because even if a lead isn't ready to buy when they hop on that call, you can have an in-depth conversation with them and quickly take them from not knowing why they're in pain to being ready to buy in about 60 to 90 minutes. But when the sales call is removed from that, you don't have that luxury. That's why your no-call sales process needs to be built in a way that educates the lead on why they're in pain, shows them what they need to do to fix it, helps them find a solution, yours, that shows them how, and then they need an offer to take action. And if you can create that, you'll easily be able to build a sales process that doesn't rely on sales calls. I know this might be a lot of information to digest, and you might be thinking, okay, but how do I actually do this? Well, I'll give you a bird's eye view of how we do it. The trick to taking your leads through the 4 stages of the buyer's journey is by creating assets at each stage that move them on to the next one. For example, create content that educates your audience on why they're in pain, create free or very low ticket lead magnets that educate your audience on what they need to do, create low ticket programs that shows them how to do it, and then have your high ticket service that helps them with that how. Now, at the start, I promised I'd share the strategies that we're using to replace sales calls in my business. Here are my 4 favorite ones: sales funnels, VSLs, which is video sales letters, Google Docs, and emails. I love all 4 of these strategies because when they're created in the right way, they do all the heavy lifting for you. They qualify your leads, indoctrinate them in your way of thinking, and they make them offers to fix their problems. All you have to do is build them once and they can be used over and over again without it taking up more of your time. And ultimately, that's what this whole video is about and what we're about as a company at the Smart Growth Co. It's about helping business owners like you to make more sales and to grow your business without working more hours. If you want more business growth and sales tips, below this video is a link to join our mailing list. I'll drop into your inbox a couple times a week with more in-depth value and tips that you won't find in the public domain. Peace out.